Just give me the correct time again. After all, I know how much you enjoy. Okay, now I'm curious. How accurate AT&T is. Let's use slider to find out. Regardless of the accuracy, adjusting these settings, I feel like I'm learning more about you. It's good to collect data. Yay, I'm working a 9 to 5. Huh? The end is never the end is never the end is never the end is loading the end is never. The loading screen.
This is the story of a man named... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello, and thank you for playing The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, The Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
This game is scary feeling. Like, I feel like something's gonna pop out like, nah!
What's going on here?
No.
Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Should you what? You shouldn't.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Oh, give me a second. I'm gonna call someone named Baron on stream.
All right. Let's see. It's the jump circle. Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jump. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's
Are you alive, Baron?
content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes, I knew.
Call Tara.
That's it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
No! I hate you. And I hate that thing my girlfriend made me download. Some stupid noted. Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking. I hate it. Don't give me notifications half the time, though. That makes me pissed. Make them say, la 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 la. Make them say,
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
I was joking. I was joking.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all
No,
my
it is
favorite
cute. I was
memories
just
so I can
saying
relive
it
the
as a
peak
joke. I
experiences
actually
of my
like it a
life
lot.
Whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before cheap PlayStation port?
Hey!
Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
My girlfriend hates my voice, she said. She wants me to shut up, so I guess I will.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "We're so many games that aspire to be more than games.
Well,
end
if
up
you guys are in a
less
bot
than
lobby,
beautiful
yeah.
art. Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game
How do you
ever
know that?
created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how
Still streaming,
grand
don't
and
forget that.
all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was
It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them.
And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content. Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh, I just got the joke. Pressurized gas.
The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such
Bro, I love this
of
game.
profound philosophical
Aiden,
insights
Noah.
that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick
I'm
them.
playing this game, and usually it says Steam on the things, but now it's saying Pressurized Gas because they're not trying to get sued on PlayStation. Stanley Parable.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I... What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto.
Not a manifesto.
Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, Then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've got me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Yeah.
Treatise, manifesto.
I'm streaming. If you want to watch it, it's just the narrator saying treatise and manifesto over and over.
Manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise.
I'm out here sucking dick. I know it. Like what?
Treatise, manifesto.
Hey, the next bar.
Manifesto. Treatise.
No, the next bar I had was gonna be wilder than that.
Treatise, manifesto.
I'll be sucking
Treatise,
dick.
manifesto.
Noah likes dick.
Treatise, manifesto. 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 Treatise, manifesto.
Say it, Noah.
Treatise,
Explain what's in that photo.
manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise.
Yeah, no, I want you to exactly say what you were talking about, Noah.
Manifesto.
Say it.
Treatise, manifesto. 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 Treatise, manifesto.
Aiden, do you have Noah's number by chance?
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise,
I'm not.
manifesto. Treatise, 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 manifesto. Treatise.
Alright then, Noah. Explain what that joke was.
Treatise, manifesto. 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 Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie Nine will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
Yuck.
Let me
That's
describe
gross.
this for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past.
Who the fuck is
And
that
when
bottle?
that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see... But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed.
Yo, when I get a PS5, y'all gotta teach me what to do. There's never the end, there's never the end, there's never the end, the end. There's never the end, there's never the end, there's never the end, there's never the end, there's never the end. No, if you're watching my stream, you'll see what I mean. There's never the end, 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 there's never... And the end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never... What the fuck? What the hell happened to this place, man? Let's just keep skipping forward and forward at a time. Oh my god. I see the light. I see the light. Call me Tyler the Creator, cause I see the light. I see the light. Oh, now it's green. Guys, why is the light turning red? Why is the light turning red? What the fudge? Where am I? No, I don't like... What the fuck? How far can I go out? Civilization. I swear to God, I saw Civilization.
Is it just me, or does anybody else love twirling their ass hairs?
Noah? Is this you?
All of his co-workers were gone.
God damn it, I can't get away from Miku.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh good, you noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Break the dog! Hit the siren!
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself. Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
The button that says the player that is... the name of the player that is playing the game, I gotta test this out.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Jim.
So sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this.
Alright guys, my name is Jim right now for this, so I gotta play along as
Here we
Jim.
go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want
Jim.
you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of...
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If
My
you don't
bad.
properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button.
My
Otherwise,
bad, keep
it's just
saying
a
the
stupid
backstory.
button that says somebody else's name.
My bad, continue.
Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first.
What if I don't though? Now, allow yourself to be
become
Jim.
Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim,
Driving
playing
to work.
frisbee on the weekends as Jim, Staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim. Developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim. Rediscovering yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim. And finally, dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim.
Okay.
Do you feel it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I am Jim.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Oh my god!
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush!
Yeah,
that was you! The button
Oh my
described
god.
you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second
Oh
time.
my-
If
I'm
this
not
were the
doing that
only
again.
new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy.
Jim.
Sometimes
Jim.
a person can be
Jim.
too much, Jim.
Jim.
I'm putting the Jim button away.
No,
Otherwise,
no,
you'll start to
no.
lose all sense of who you
Jim.
actually
Jim.
are.
Jim.
Yes. But that will.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature. Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life. God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic. Now here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along.
Get well
Get
someday.
Well Someday it is.
Dude, I'm still streaming.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Nope. Nope.
You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Nope. No.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to
Just
fall?
the two of us.
I figured
We
the hole
can
was as
make
deep as
that's
anyone would actually
crazy.
need. Don't you put this on me.
Maybe you're the problem. Look, things get a little heated
I
here.
think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I didn't say
Don't we
shit.
just put all this behind us and
How about you just let me out the
just
damn...
all mess?
Not...
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button
Just
to walk
Aiden.
up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh.
What?
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time...
Yeah, I
in it
do
than
like
you did
holes.
before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole. I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you
Yep.
decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try
I
something.
got a big tub of slime.
Back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you...
Goodbye, narrator. I hope you fucking die. Oh, that's cool how it actually gets quieter. So when do I start going insane? Where am I going? Hey! Hey! Man, that jump circle would have helped out right now. Is this the part where I die? He comes back, sees my dead body, and... Oh, am I the 427th Stanley? 426 people also went through this.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer.
Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
I was gonna say, there is no way we're doing this again.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
No! Fuckers.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical. that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem of the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal, and perhaps even
What are y'all playing?
you may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring.
I'm not gonna get Sea of Thieves if I
while
get
the bucket is in
PlayStation
your
5.
arms. And to be honest,
I don't like it.
it's a much more
Yeah!
convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the
Not
ass that
really.
would be?
That's
Yes,
better.
the bucket is the perfect solution.
Not really.
Come on.
Oh, you want to say that now? Alright, give me a few minutes. I'm back. Hello, Noah.
Give it a try.
I'm okay, I'm streaming.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact,
Why do I have a
can say
goddamn
that I
bucket
do
in my
believe
hand?
The bucket lends you an air of charisma as well. I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Noah, be honest, does it feel like January's taking longer than 2024?
All right, have you
Damn.
seen everything you wanted to?
Oh yeah,
Move on
propaganda. This looks like something that's used for propaganda.
now. So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
No.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags.
Sorry, I'm going crazy.
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Bro, my wrist is killing me because this bracelet my girlfriend gave me, it's like one of those fucking like rubber band-ish bracelets, so it's just like pushing onto my skin. No, she won't. Oh, no, she will. Yeah. No. Nah. I hate I love Twinkies. I hate zingers. Sorry.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was...
I love Twinkies! I love singers! I hate...
His job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk. Telling him how long to push them. This is what employee 427 of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-lifting, Stanley...
Okay, I wake up in the morning, bounce my ass, and then I cook some food. Then I go outside and bounce my ass from a good-looking dude. Bounce my ass in public, bounce my ass up in the...
Nope.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No. Okay.
Stanley felt the
I
button
am.
calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
No.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, me.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the
Bro,
detour
what if-
after all. Just to spend a few but eager to get back
Yeah,
to business,
I found the
Stanley
gas
took the
pedal.
first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Y'all see that guy on the news that has like a warrant for his arrest because he stole Pokemon cards? For stealing valuable Pokemon
Stepping into
cards.
his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
I forgot where. Why'd you say MSPD?
And rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
It's happening in Mississippi? Might have happened in Michigan. How do you know he hated his own race? What? Did you not?
Descending deeper into the building,
Did you not hear?
Stanley realized
There's
he
this
had
one
found a
person that said he
It was a
reminds
stirring
himself of
emotion in
Stewie
his
Griffin.
chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he
He's
feel
like-
this now, when
he-
for years it had never occurred to him?
He's
This
like,
question would
I feel
not
like I'm
go
Stewie
unanswered
Griffin
for long.
because what he did, he killed his parents.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. This room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
I've been
Stanley thought to
streaming
himself.
for an hour and
Did he
10
have the
minutes.
strength?
Fuck. I'm going to be. Goodbye. I've returned. Alright.
Now,
I'm just playing
monitors
Stanley
began to
Parable,
reveal
streaming
their
it because
true
I'm
nature
bored.
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
.427, not .327. God damn it. Yeah, that's my office. Next. Beast, I'm starting to think after my streams that I post some clips on to like YouTube Shorts.
I'm back.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he
Hello.
was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Hey Beast, you wanna play BL6 in a little bit?
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
What?
Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Okay.
He truly spent his entire
What are we
life
gonna do on there?
utterly
Drive
blind to
around
the
again?
world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled
All right.
with emotions.
I can start working on my arcade
Or
heist
content,
after I beat this game
walking,
again.
Eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past
Did I say
began to
arcade
set in,
heist?
Stanley decided that
Yeah.
this machinery would
Sorry,
never
it
again
did. We all knew. You're gonna die. How the?
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes,
Freedom.
he had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments
Just defend
away.
harder, Beast.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do.
Okay, I'll wake up in the morning, bounce my ass, and then I'll
Whatever
cook some
life
food.
he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
I go outside and bounce my
It
ass,
was
I'm a good looking
perhaps
dude. Bounce
the
my ass
only
and public.
thing worth knowing.
Yeah, I'm good.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
Let me out. Let me out, please.
Stanley
Thank you.
felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Beast, I'm gonna send a video to your
Stanley
Discord.
was happy.
Beast, you literally just texted me like an hour ago. I could take him. I could take him. Just aim for the balls. Oh, and Beast, by one video, I mean like 8, 7. Oh, go, hey, what's up, mine? Ah.
All of his co-workers were
Chewbacca, no!